Tanzanian riot police have detained a number of protesting supporters of arrested opposition leader Freedom Mbowe on Thursday as a terrorism case against him was postponed. Mbowe and other officials from the main opposition party, Chadema, were arrested last month ahead of a planned conference to demand constitutional reform. The 59-year-old has been charged with terrorism, financing and conspiracy in a case that has triggered concern among some rights groups and some Western nations about the state of democracy under Tanzania's new leader. Mbowe had been due to appear in court in the financial capital, Dar es Salaam, on Thursday via a video link from prison, but the case was postponed to Friday because of connection problems. It was not immediately clear how many were detained. The party's General Secretary, John Nyika, urged supporters to turn up at the court again on Friday when Mbowe is due to appear in person. Now, joining us live on NC Continental Prime this evening is opposition leader Lema God Bless. He joins me on the news for more on the happenings in Tanzania. Hello, good evening, Lema God Bless. Thank you very much for joining us on NC Continental Prime.
Good evening, sir.
Now, Chadema's opposition, the Tanzania's opposition Chadema party leader, Freeman Mbowe, was arrested just hours before he was due to launch a program calling for constitutional reform last month. What are your thoughts on all of this and his arrest?
Mr. Mbowe arresting was, it was not just, it happened like a few days ago, as you said, but when Magufuli, the late John Magufuli came into power, since 2015, then the political stability in Tanzania started to plunge down and decline, and the abuse of human rights was increasing so much. Mbowe himself, who is a leader of opposition, in the parliament, as the chairman of Chadema, he went through a lot of difficulty, troubles. In his business, in his personal lives, because of his stand in a political change and constitutional reforms in our country. So what we see now is not really about the charges that they have just imposed to him, the terrorism charges, but if you can remember, if you are aware that Mbowe also has been taken to court several times, and once the magistrate court found him guilty, but at the end of the day, the High Court of Tanzania, it was free him from the charges that he was found guilty as a lower court. So this is the this is a proceedings of the regime that has been started with Magufuli 6 years ago. And you remember that he's a vice president, the Mama Samia, our president now. She was a vice president. Also, she was a member of Central. She's a member of Central Committee. She was a member of Central Committee of Chama cha Mapinduzi. So I think they have the clear position about what they want to see in Tanzania. And exactly, if you ask me what is that clear position, I will tell you that the clear position of what they want to see is to make sure that they're going to remove the space of democracy in our country.
Now, Mr. God Bless, this has raised a lot of concerns in the international community, and a lot of human rights activists and groups have condemned the arrest of Mr. Mbowe. The United States government has called on Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan to respect human rights in Tanzania. Do you think this sort of concern, and knowing that the world is watching events in Tanzania, do you think it will bring about any change, or perhaps a change in attitude?
I think so, if they would just embrace some kind of literal wisdom. But either they are going to change their position, about their look about political space in Tanzania. That is not so much matter on us. But I know that this international community, like Americans and other Western countries, European and donor and as a partners of our country, if they really want to help Tanzanian community, I think their concern might save the country if their concern will not only be a mere talks, but if their concern also will come with some action. So the concern of international community is very crucial at the moment because it might help maybe the country not get into civil war, as a future, because I see a lot of grudges among the communities, and which is very dangerous. So it's important now the international community to come up with action, not only just a statement or Twitter handles like they always are doing. But I believe this time, because also they have one history about what the country came from, like 5 years ago when Magufuli was in power. I think they might think to do something wonderful for the country, and I really want them and I call them to not only just to have the talks, but also to put some action in the country.
Now, your party's Secretary General, John Mbowe, has urged supporters to turn up at the courts on Friday when Mr. Freedom Mbowe is likely, he's said to be arraigned again. What is he trying to gain here? And do you think if supporters are violating COVID protocols that restrict some sort of movement, it could lead to a breakdown of law and order?
We don't have a COVID-19 protocol in our country, and that's why even the whole community are very surprising when we see only the COVID protocol. It's only the other part of the side that we have been told about the COVID protocol, but actually there is no COVID protocol in our country. You see, the president is continuously meeting the prime minister. So, and also we know the restriction, and we know how our people know what they can do about COVID protocol. So since the whole country does not refrain themselves on that protocol, then I think it's also important for the people to come and show the solidarity to our leader.
But is it a responsible call, knowing that today a couple of Chadema supporters were arrested for protesting, and if they come out on Friday, there's every possibility they will be arrested again?
I think the cost of freedom is very expensive. And these are the things now we always tell our people and ourselves, that we always remind ourselves that we shall no longer fear anything. I know these things might happen, and not only the issue of arresting, they can even shoot. But I think now we have reached to the point of tipping point, that we really want to see the change. We see some changes in the country, especially on constitutional reform. So I know that there is a problem. There is a problem might happen maybe not only tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, because we have called for protesting all over the country, and this is not going to be just only for a single day. This is going to be non-stop protesting.
Now, finally, Mr.
We're gonna find some trouble. We're gonna find some, this and that, but we will persevere. We'll persevere.
Now, finally, Mr. Lema Goodbless, in the weeks after her swearing-in, President Suluhu Hassan reached out to political opposition vying to defend democracy and basic freedoms and reopening banned media outlets. Critics are now openly brandishing the term dictator to describe Tanzania's first woman president, Suluhu Hassan. Is this case of the arrest of Freedom Mbowe a one-off, or are we seeing a rollback to the dictatorial years of John Pombe Magufuli?
I think there is such a big difference between John Pombe Magufuli and Samia Suluhu. They all come from the same party. They all have the same ideas about ruling the country. Their part doesn't have legitimacy of the country right now. So I think what Magufuli has been done 5 years ago. Samia Suluhu was a part and parcel of the same system. He was the vice president. Actually, he is the number one counselor to the president. So I think what Samia is doing now is doing what he's doing what Magufuli, the late Magufuli, was being doing. So we don't see the difference. That's why it's very important for the community to see that the problem now of Tanzania is not the personality. It's about the system, and we must fight with the system. And these are things that this is a very fundamental challenge we have, and we have to overcome.
Lema, God bless. Thank you very much for talking to us on NC Continental Prime. We do appreciate your insights and contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.